let's get started. So first we'll create a directory and I'll call it chmark.gbstack.com. So this should be the folder where we install our Laravel application and Laravel admin panel, everything together. Okay, so let's get into this folder and then run this command, and it will ask you to run it as a super user or root. So give it permission as yes, but it might take a couple of command line installation, which I prefer very much. So we'll go ahead with that. Let's see our installation. Yeah, it's still doing. I think it would be done pretty soon. Yes, right. Okay, perfect. So now it's been done, and after that we need to connect our Laravel application. This one has been installed to our database. All right. Okay, so let's go to our FTP folder or whatever client tool you're using. So here I should have this one. That's right. As you can see, Laravel is installed here, and I have this env file, and we need to edit this env file though. Okay, now we have to set the env file and some configuration. Okay, so let's go ahead with the configuration. So I already have this opened the configuration file, which is env. So a few things we need to change over here. The first one is database name. Well, I already have the database name, admin Laravel. I'm using user as a root, and password, well, I can't tell you the password, my own password. So go ahead and set up your own password. You should be done with this file, env file, and then we would go ahead and install this command line over here, this line. So it's pretty easy. So after setting the env file, here we are, and we have a folder which is called a Laravel. We'll get inside Laravel folder, and we'll see that we have this different packages for Laravel itself. Now what we'll do, we'll come to this place. I'll put a link below there. You can download it from there, or you can follow it with me with the command line. So we'll copy the first one, and then it's asking you if you want to install larave-admin as a root or super user. So give it permission. It should be done pretty soon. Okay, perfect. All right, and after that, let's go ahead and run this command for assets and config. Okay, done. And then let's go ahead and install this one. Okay, well, I guess it does some auto generate some files for you, as you can see over here. Okay, all right, so that's pretty much done with this setup. Okay, after that setup, we have to run some commands on our terminal. Make sure that you have this env file configured, where you have set up your database name, username and password. And after that, in general, I like to run these commands one by one. What it does, it takes care of every permission and files, this and that. So that's why you should do it. So you can just follow along with me and do it. This is the first command, and so this is for generating some key. And then let's clear the cache over here. All right, and after that we have this one for database and migration. All right, nothing to migrate, it doesn't matter, just continue. And then for storage permission, and after that I guess we don't need the composer, so dump it. All right, and then again for Apache permission, and after that bootstrap permission, Apache bootstrap. And let's see, this one, the last one is this. Okay, and if you further encounter error, so it might be that your htaccess file it might have some permission problems, so go ahead and do that. And but this option is not necessary. In general, you should run all the commands from section 2 to number 2 to 10. All right. Okay, so I'll put a link for this one below as well. Okay, so next, if we can run the website on the browser. Okay, so our website address was chmark.thebesttech.com. Let's see. Wow, perfect. So the website is running, but this is the front end of the website. So now we'll see if we can go to the admin section. In general, once you install the package from here, or any kind of package for admin Laravel, it comes with a default password and username, which is admin and admin. So password should be admin and username should be admin. Okay, perfect. So let's see, here we are with the admin panel with Laravel. That's amazing because it saves so much time with Laravel that you don't need to create the panel, the backend on your own. And here you have some information, you can go through them on your own, and they are pretty useful though. All right, now you can close them if you want. All right, and then we'll take a look at this dashboard and the admins. All right, well, dashboard should be these options over here we saw early, and then we have this admins and we have users. Like I'm here the administrator, and of course you can change the rules and permissions. All right, and it also has menus. All right, like that. So next we'll see how can we create our own menus and navigation section. Okay, just now we created this admin panel, but it is pretty simple. Now we'll take it one step further. We'll create an icon here where it will say users. We can also create a panel or a menu for articles or for products, whatever you want to show over here. Well, now we have this another website. This is laravel-admin.org. This is their official website, and over here it tells you how to create a controller. Okay, so this is how you create controller. On Windows you use this one, on Linux you use this permission. Okay, admin panel, and we want to add here more menus and buttons, things like that. Okay, and say for example on the front end you want to show articles, so we'll have a menu for posting articles and editing articles, things like that. Or if someone signs up in your page, so you would want to know who's signed up, so for them we'll have a user section over here. All right, okay, so now I have this terminal open here, so make sure that you are in the Laravel folder or your whatever folder you used to save your Laravel project. And after that, let's come here. This is the official website, and in the official website it says that how to add a controller. We need to add controller and models because we want to add menus over here and want to navigate. All right, okay, so it says that on Linux you add controller like this, and on Windows you use controller like this. This is the latest version, we'll skip that. And do remember that at the same time you should have a model. The model's name is user. You have to have one. If you don't have one, you need to create one. Okay, let's copy paste this. Before we continue, let's go to our app directory and go to the admin folder. This admin folder is responsible for holding all of our controllers for our backend. All right, so backend controllers, they all live over here within this. Okay, so most probably this is the home controller for backend. All right, okay, and now the models, like for example, we want to create a controller, and now there should be a model, but this model has been auto-generated when we created our Laravel-admin, or we installed Laravel-admin from command line. So you should have one. If you don't have one, just go ahead and create a model, okay, and type in the properties, but you should have one. Now this model is missing a controller, so we'll create a controller, and the controller would live in this folder. And earlier we copied this command, so what we will do, we'll go ahead and copy paste it and run the command. Well, now it says that the model doesn't exist. Well, it could be that it's missing the path because they might have updated their structure, but the documentation might not be the latest one though. So for example, take a look at this code. So over here the model is within app. Our model is user. Where does it live? It lives within app models user, like this. So we need to change our path over here. That's what we did. All right, and most probably you also need this what are these things? Single quote. All right, let's run this. Perfect. So it created a user controller for us, and it told us at the same time add this line in your app admin route. So app admin route, so this one, this file. So let's go ahead and add it. So it has some default installation, as you can see. We can ignore that. All right, so now we'll save it. Okay, now after saving it, let's go ahead and check our admin panel. But in the admin panel we don't see a lot of extra thing though. So now let's see what happens here. So we come to menu section. Now here, over here, we might have you see it's called users. So let's go ahead and click on this. Let's see what is this. Okay, so what we could do, we could create an icon for this users. So well, title, first we'll create a title, so we'll call it users as well, and over here we'll call users, or any icon you want to use, maybe this one. All right, and input URI. So this URI is this one over here, users. Okay, so slash users, and the role as administration, permission, say, well, just maybe keep it default, and let's save it and see what happens. Okay, all right, so now so I guess we have this one, and let's see, we might be able to change it though. So let's refresh it. Yes, it's over here actually. So what happened just now, because we created this controller, which is this one, and the controller should be here. Yes, right. So this is the user controller that we created early. Okay, and it has some default ID or column like this. Okay, and because we created this one based on this model, so on the back end we are able to see this one, and this one is actually this one. So we can go ahead and open it up, as you can see. So perfect. So we have these things, you see. So it's so easy to create a admin panel and your related buttons or navigation buttons through this admin panel, laravel-admin panel package. Okay, that's pretty easy. So let's go ahead and create a new user. Okay, I would say Dylan Ahmed, and a.com, password say 123123. Okay, perfect. So the user has been created, as you can see. Of course, this information would be coming from your backend, your front end. So on the front end you'll have maybe a user login page or sign up page, and their information should be saved over here, right? So that's how you deal with front end and back end together. Okay, well, next we'll see how to create a article controller, and we'll have article navigation menu over here. Okay, now we'll see how to create a menu over here. That menu would be article menu, so that we'll be able to create articles, post articles, and edit them. Right, to do that, first we learned that we need to have a model, as we saw earlier over here. So let's go ahead and create a model. So we'll call it php artisan make model article, and we also want a resource for it, which is a migration table. Let's go ahead and run it, and it created a migration table successfully for us. The next thing we want to do is run this command and create a controller. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it, and we could do like say app models and article, and then instead of calling it user controller, we'll call it article controller. Okay, now it created this one and it's telling us add this in your resources routes. So let's go ahead and find a route, but I don't need this thing, so let's go ahead and paste this one. Okay, we should be good to go. So we created this one, and next thing we want to do is check if we have the articles here or not. So we have this article that we created early. Now let's take a look at the model. So we also have the model, and now let's go ahead and check our database migrations, and this is the article migration that we have early. Okay, so we want to create two more fields over here, so we'll call it table and say string. We'll call it what is the name of the article, or title sounds better, and then table, we'll say text and content of the article. Okay, so these two fields we have added. All right, okay, now we'll go ahead and do a migration. So we'll call php artisan migrate. It should be able to create a table in the database for us. Perfect. Okay, so now we're done with migration and we have this model. Now we need to change our article over here, but now that would be too much coding. So what I would do, I would copy from our user controller and paste it right there, Ctrl-Alt-V. Now we need to make some changes, because over here we would be using the model that's called article, and the controller is article controller, and over here this is article again, and this one article. All right, okay, so now these things we really don't need here now. What we need is a new grid. Let's call column, and we'll call it content. Content, and the name we show on the back end, that is content. All right, so that's all we need. Okay, and now what we do, we can copy all these things so that we could be efficient and put them, all of them here. But do remember, we need to change the model name. So this is article, and well, now it's a show object, so let's change them to show. Okay, all right, and this form object, we have to do the same thing. First, let's copy paste all of them. Sorry, this one, copy paste all of it. And the first thing we want to change is this object name. Perfect. Now of course we don't need the ID, because this is for editing. We don't add a database ID. Now the name was, I think that was a string type, so let's go ahead and type string, and the content was or it should be text type, right, the content. So because let's look at our migration table, it is a text. All right, and these two tables are things we don't need to worry right now. Okay, so that's what we have. So let me tell you, this is for showing the articles, this is for creating an article, or I mean these are all the articles when you see on the back end one by one. We'll see that later. And this is for clicking and see, and this is for editing. All right, so we have this so far. Let's go ahead and refresh it. Nothing is there, so we could do and create a new menu. So we'll call it articles, and icon say books, this one, and URI should be articles or article. Let us see which one. Let's find a route. So this one, right? So let's not make mistakes. I guess they're the same. Perfect. And roles in the administrator and submit it. Perfect. So we already have article over here, and let's refresh it. we should be able to see that, right? And let's click on the article. Perfect. Okay, so these are the field we have in the database, in our migration table, as well as in our article controller. So this is what I was saying just now. So when you view these things, all these things are coming because of this method. Okay, all right, now let's see if we can create one. Well, now it says that controllers users not found, article controllers. So we might have made a mistake and forgot to make a change, this one. So we'll call it article. Okay, now let's refresh it. The error should be gone. Let's try it again. Now the string doesn't exist. I'm not sure why it doesn't accept string. Let's change back it to text. Let's see. Yes, the error is gone. Now let's create an article. Name is Laravel and the content is the best backend framework. Let's submit it. And we have another problem here, unknown column filled somewhere. Okay, let's see. We were not able to submit it. So the name is most probably that's due to because in the table over here, actually this is as a title. So this is another copy paste problem. So let us change all of them. Okay, and let's see, let's save them. Okay, let's try it one more time. Laravel, the best backend framework. Let's submit it. Perfect. So that's what we have here. All right, so that's how you create articles or a navigation menu on the backend. Okay, so that's why I love Laravel-admin panel, because it makes your life so easy. You don't need to do everything on your own. It comes with the default package and command. So all you need to do, create a model and then a controller and then a migration table, and pretty much copy paste the content from your earlier containers. It makes your life easy. Okay, all right, so now it's up to you how you view this thing on the front end. By the way, if you want to view them on the front end, so now over here all you need to do, create new article controllers in the HTTP controllers over here. All right, as you know that this is the default Laravel setup for front-end controllers. They all live in this folder. So if you want to view this information on the front end, just create a controller and call them from there, and you should be pretty good to go. And if you liked it, don't forget to share. Thank you so much.